Some other stories. How about when George was driving a cab and he wound up on the tarmac?
This is something I don't know. I can't verify.
Here's your phone.
He mistakenly drove out right onto the tarmac, or whatever they call it, and a plane was taking off as he was driving. This is his story. I don't know. George was not very much, wasn't too much of a sense of humor. Very uptight guy. Very conscientious. I always remember there was a time my mother wanted to go to the podiatrist for her feet, and I told her I was going to be at her house at a certain time, and I come there and she's gone. I said, "Oh no." And I go home, and later on I called. I said, "What happened?" Well, George came and took her. I said, "I made up with you." Well, she favored George. She favored George and Betty. My father favored me. Jack was a lost sheep, so to speak. During the war, the Second World War, I used to have to write letters. They had what they called V letters, which says one piece of paper, and you fold it over, and you put down the address. Well, address usually post office box, California, or whatever. No actual address. This was my job, to be writing letters to both Jack and to George.
Well, your mother couldn't write.
No, they couldn't.
Your father could a little bit?
A little bit, but not really too well. I mean, it was a short sentence or something, and then sometimes, and of course he would misspell things. It wasn't. I mean, he had gone to some night school and gotten some education, but it really was lacking in a lot of it. But you know, Betty was born in Europe.
Now, was your mother a citizen? Was your mother a citizen? Was she a citizen?
Assistant?
A citizen.
Oh, no. My mother never became... Oh, that's a funny another story I can tell you. Because she never was a citizen, when my cousin Jerry got married in Canada. So my father and my mother, and I guess my Uncle Jaime and all went up to Canada. Well, my father being a citizen, getting out of the United States was no problem. Coming back into the United States, you had to show something. And she didn't have anything. So they had to send some sort of wire or telegram down to Washington to find out the name of the ship that she came in, to prove that she had come in 19 whatever she came into. It was a whole thing until they finally straightened it out. So for the longest period of time, I won't say years, but for the longest period of time, my father used to tease my mother. Said, "I should have left you in Canada. You were in Canada. You could have stayed in Canada for the rest of your life. I didn't have to come home." This was his tease all the time. I could have left you there. Actually, he didn't mean it because it was a joke. But I say, this was, and during the war, because she wasn't a citizen, she had to register. That they had usually in the post office. Any person who was not an American citizen had to register, and you had to keep on re-registering every umpteen months or a period of time, and during the Second World War. And she had a bank account, and you know how she signed it? The next. This is, well, Betty always used to work with her and take care of things and tell her.
So what was her status if she wasn't a citizen? Was she a permanent resident? Was she a...
She was an alien. I mean, I mean, she came here legally and not an illegal alien.
Right.
But you know, I say she came here over here in whatever ship that it was, but she never applied for citizenship papers. Whereas my father did, and so forth. This was as from the stories she tells me that one time she worked in a cracker factory. I don't know, it was Sunshine or whatever. That they used to package crackers in a package. From the stories that I've been told by my mother, and my father didn't tell me too many stories, but my father used to tell me a lot of things. And it was a rough life. You know, I always remember she told me, you know, in Europe, they had a little farm, and on the farm they had a couple of chickens. Now, on occasion, somebody, a wagon would go by the house and hit the chicken and kill it. They had to give the chicken away because it's no longer kosher. But they had to trade the dead chicken for potatoes or for something else, because
maybe you know how to download.
They were denied themselves the pleasure of having a chicken. But once the chicken was killed by accident, they had to give it away.
So, Grandma and Grandpa were farmers?
No, they weren't really farmers. In fact, my father was, as I understand, was an apprentice to a tailor.
Okay.
And that's how he learned tailoring.
Okay. But they just had a little, like, private little farm of their own little...
Yeah, they lived, it was sort of like, you know, when I saw Fiddler on the Roof, that's Mama and Papa's home. You know, it reminded me so much from all the stories that I was told, that I sort of pictured that, my father being a tailor, working with another tailor to be apprentice, and my mother just being a housekeeper with her mother and her other siblings. I don't know what exactly. I know she had at least 2 sisters. I know. I don't know too many people around her family. But I know she had. But in fact, I remember she told me how every Friday they would bake bread, and the bread was finished baking. That bread had to last a whole week, because they would not bake it any other day. So, if sometime by Wednesday, Thursday, there was no bread in the house, or if it was kind of hard, because they didn't have refrigeration.
A whole different world.
See, from the stories I hear, it was a rough life.
Now, were they? Was it an arranged marriage?
Ooh, good question.
Grandpa and Grandma.
No. As far as I know, no. She used to, remember her telling me that there was like a whole group of girls and a whole group of guys used to like meet in the town square or something, and that was, you know, just intermingle, and she always, well, I can't say the word in Jewish. I say in Jewish, you won't know me. He was tall and curly hair.
Grandpa curly hair?
I had a picture of him where he did have curly hair. He says he was tall, and she says liked him right away. And eventually they started getting together, and they got married there in Europe.
Okay.
Okay.
I could heat it up more.
Why don't we? I'll turn this off, and we'll.